No, I am your father.
What?
Wait, no, I'm pregnant and you're the father.
What?
I mean, you're pregnant and I'm the baby.
What?
I always think about it as talking about like getting checked at the table. I remember it when our wonderful and amazing friend Erika Ishii as Kay in Misfits and Magic was like, oh, Evan doesn't think he's good unless he's useful. I make choices as characters to play them flawed. That wasn't one of them. Do you understand? That trap didn't
The door. Yeah.
The door.
Yeah.
The door that goes to the main
door inside the main house.
The duplex door. These suites are attached.
Yes.
And Erika sniped through the duplex door and got Brennan. And I went, no, that wasn't a mistake. That's how the world works. I'm right. No, Erika, stop. They're laughing. Stop. You have to stop.
Amazing.
really got checked in that moment of like, oh, that's not good. We don't do that. And
Don't fuck with mine.
The best way to use Thieves' Cant in D&D, and this is a free resource that you can download from the DM's Guild, and it's going to make your rogue way more useful. So basically every rogue gets something called Thieves' Cant, and it's like a secret dialect that thieves and assassins use. But if you get this free PDF, it's really fun because it gives you like code words or a way of speaking so that no one else in the party knows what's going on, but you're actually having a full-on conversation, maybe negotiating a prize. So here's an example. A shady NPC walks up to you and says, "Hey, do my eyes deceive me? I haven't seen you in years. You look to be in bad health. You look worse than my 50-year-old brother."
What are you talking about?
But hidden in that message, and you can see this in the PDF, you're actually saying, "Lay low, there's an urgent job I have for you of medium difficulty, and I'll offer you 50 silver as a reward."
It's like a secret code girls have.
So yeah, your party will be super confused, but the DM and the rogue can kind of chat it out together. You should definitely print it off and share it with your DM.
Here's some weird and wonderful tavern NPCs that you can use in your next D&D session. This is Finis Mold, the barman. Don't underestimate his age and slim build. Finis is a force to be reckoned with. Finis has full control over a metallic enchanted head that sits above the bar. Through telepathy, Finis can weaponize this head to breathe fire on any unruly patrons. So make sure that you always pay your bar tab, you always leave a tip, and take the brawl outside. This is Cot Bovril. Cot Bovril will ask you to hand over your rations with the promise of doubling them at no cost. Cot is incredibly greedy, but he can be caring. If the players choose to hand over their rations, there's a 50-50 chance he'll return from the kitchen with double rations, or just not return at all. And this is Dee Stills. She may try to entice one of your characters with some fine mead, however if a player decides to drink the mead during their sleep that night, a deep paralysis will set in, whether they are awake or not. If the character sleeps inside or even nearby the tavern that night, Dee will rob them blind, and there's nothing they can do about it until they can move again at sunrise. And this is Biffin. It's just Biffin. He fits in your pocket.
Get fucking wrecked.
Is that not soup? That was a love potion.
It was a love potion?
Yeah, it was. Ah!
Both Pike and Grog to make charisma saving throws, please.
Oh, but I counterspelled it at 8th level.
you want the bird to fire the rocket?
I mean, a cricket fired a rocket.
The cricket was brilliant.
The bird speaks and speaks any language that I speak.
Which is Celestial, Common, and Sylvan.
Speaks 3 languages?
Yes.
Look, you're not going to believe this. My name's Beaky. I worked...
Not gonna believe that.
I worked in the artillery for the Talking Animals Army for over 3 years.
That's huge.
You put that firework in my talons, and I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna make mincemeat of these fairies, okay? I was sucking down cigarettes and firing at mortars out of a tank for over 3 years, all right? I've seen 2 active tours of duty, and I'll tell you right now, you put that rocket in my hand, we're gonna be drinking bubblegum and eating whiskey minutes from now.
Oh, my
What's
God.
up?
Were you in the TAA?
I was in the TAA.
Thank you for your service.
My friend.
We defended Toy Island, one of my favorite tours of duty I ever been. There was enough donkey meat to go around.
Good girl in a straw hat with her arms out in a cornfield. That is a scarecrow.
Do you ever think about death?
My death, or in like the grand scheme of things?
Just in general.
Well, I think everyone does sometimes.
Because Laden is fucking terrifying.
Oh, I don't know. You sort of get used to it after a while.
Really?
Yeah, it becomes like You ever have a friend that tells the same bad joke over and over again?
Oh, a friend.
Oh. A friend? You have a friend, right? Like a group of friends?
I do now.
Oh, yes you do. Yes you do. Yes. Everyone thinks about death, I think, Chetney.
Ah, okay.
Every friend group should include a bimbo, a mean bisexual, an even meaner lesbian, she days and he days, a token straight that's on thin ice, an astrology bitch who has everyone's birth chart memorized, and a short king.
Yo ho, all hands, hoist the colors high.
Okay, cool.
Hey, be safe.
I'll be so safe.
Let's stop you.
I run up to the goblin and I bonk him. I run up to the witch and then I bonk him. And then I bonk him again. I dodge the beholder's ray. And then I bonk him not once, not twice, but thrice. Bonk, 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 bonk. I run up to God himself and I bonk him 4 times. And then I action surge and I bonk him another 4 times. How do you want to do this? I bonk him.
There was blood all over my nice antique couch.
Which one, the red one?
Well, it's red now, yeah.
Flirting or are we fighting right now? Because I'm kind of getting mixed signals. I'm gonna sink my teeth into your fucking throat! Still proving my point. Mixed messages.
Every D&D group ever.
We're on a very important mission to get, what are we doing again?
This shit way too formal, y'all know what I'm for. Stacy Dash, most of these girls ain't got a clue. All of these hoes I made off records I produce. I might take all my exes and put them all in a group. Hit my essays, I need.
Listen, obviously, you know, not to quote Murph to Murph, but you have just as good a chance as rolling good as any of us.
Yeah.
But,
But when you're yelling that after you've rolled badly,
I got just as good a chance as rolling good as
crappy
Drunk driver.
Yeah, I think if you were like, please, can I roll? Everyone would be like, yeah, but it's more when you're in the mood of like, well, come on, guys, I'll just roll. And you do it before.
But here's my favorite thing
Here's
is
a grenade of a roll.
one thing that we've seen though is there've been a couple times where I think it is fully established. If we're going to buy into the superstition of it, it is not that you roll low. It is that you roll bad. Because there have been a couple times where you're like, let's use the fact that I roll low again. Like there'll be some reason where I'll be like,
dice and you rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, exactly. You curse the dice. You got to think I rolled it, hit a nat 20. So like whatever it is, it's potent.
Also, whenever I DM for Murph, I roll well against you.
Yeah.
Like the dice hate you that much.
It shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way.
It doesn't
It's
make
deeply
any
unfair, and it's not your fault.
I don't get it.
You are the Job to Dice Christ.
1 Eldritch Blast. Bang. 2 Eldritch Blast. Bang, bang. Well, I can't cast 3 Eldritch Blasts yet, but just you wait. You get an Eldritch Blast, and you get an Eldritch Blast, and you get an Eldritch Blast. 3 Eldritch Blasts. 4. Well, I guess I could just cast any of these high-level spells that do way more damage. Oh, go ahead. We know you want to. 4 Eldritch Blast. Pew, 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 pew.
As the sun begins to fade behind the horizon, you make out the grotesque forms of a goblin horde making their way towards you. The mob is led by the sinister Goblin King, adorned in sharp, spiky metal armor with what appears to be a necklace made of human ears strewn about its neck. As the horde surrounds you, the Goblin King approaches and speaks. It seems you have something of mine, don't you, travelers?
Oh, wise king, we've traveled far from Dathkramar to bring you what you seek. It's a
righteous cocknock, motherfucker! And then Scoots rushes in and sucker punches the Goblin King square in his dick. No! Dude, what are you doing?
This is not the plan we agreed on, Sean.
As I've said many times before, I only respond to my character name when I'm playing.
Okay. Scoots, this is not the plan we agreed on.
Look, hear you loud and clear, but sometimes Scoots just gotta Scoots. Ha! Natural 20.
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but your dick punching of the Goblin King was a critical success.
Hell yeah.
A look of pain and understandably confusion flashes upon his face as you go sprawling onto his back in pain. As the rest of the horde surrounds you to ready their weapons, roll for initiative.
Damn it, Scoots. Why did you do that? 1.
Because Scoots is a wild card, baby. All you guys want to do is immerse yourselves in the world and get swept up in the narrative. Boring! Scoots wants some action. Screw the consequences.
Except it's that exact screw the consequences mentality that got us into this mess in the first place. We wouldn't even be here if you hadn't insulted the Lord Regent by putting an alchemist grenade in his daughter's wedding cake. Damn it! 1.
Classic Scoots.
If not for our sakes, at least think of the DM. Brandon spent weeks planning this campaign, and your bullshit on night 1 where you stole that carriage threw all of his plans right out the window. 1.
It's all right, Sarah. It's all right, really. I mean, I appreciate you going to bat for me, but that's the burden, privilege of being the DM. Though it's my duty to create a narrative framework for us all to follow along and enjoy, ultimately it is the decisions you all make along the way that determine how the story unfolds. And as much as I would like certain things to not go the way that all of you, or more specifically, one of you chooses them to go, I am honor-bound to make it work.
See, this guy gets it. Ooh, another 20. Scoots is hot tonight.
Wonderful. Scoots, you take the first action. And I would like to remind you that you are holding the crystallized Rose of Tranquility, which when exposed to direct sunlight has the power to pacify anyone within a 100-yard radius.
Ooh, good call. Thanks, Brando. Scoots reaches into his pocket and pulls out the crystallized flower of whatever. Scoots raises it high above his head, just like the Tron poster. Oh, thank God. And smashes it on the ground.
No! Wait, all is not lost. Okay, the crystallized Rose of Tranquility is an extremely rare and powerful artifact. I mean, it would take a pretty hard throw from Scoots.
20.
The rose shatters into a million pieces.
I think it's a racist thing to say. Oh, fuck.
Myself? Yes. But do I also think that I'm a living god and I'm better than every single other person? Also, yes.
I'm prepared to sacrifice my life. I would gladly do it twice. Consuming all the air inside my lungs, ripping all the skin from off my bones. I'm prepared to sacrifice my life. I would gladly do it twice.
Rabbi? Rabbi? Would you read me one last bedtime story?
You mean before you leave?
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. I meant,
You don't need me to read you a bedtime story. You don't need me for anything.
But know that I follow the code of goblin chivalry with every fiber of my being, and have dedicated myself to mischief, mayhem, sneakery, rumpus, and ruin.
Great is your will to survive! 600 lives at stake! It's just one life to take! And when we kill it, then our journey's over.
There the innocent blood you have spilled on the steps of Notre Dame. I am guiltless. She ran, I pursued.
Hello everybody, hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. The last video here will be a little bit longer than our usual, but hopefully you all enjoy it as well. This will not be about D&D. The video from me last week, audio was messed up, and I will post it again the following week. So I'll post it again next week after this. I will see you all next week and later. Have a good one. Bye.
Player of games. Take a breath now. Take another. Feel air in your lungs. Let your limbs return. Yes, move your fingers. Have a body again, under gravity, in air. Respawn in the long dream. There you are. Your body touching the universe again at every point, as though you were separate things. As though we were separate things. Who are we? Oh, once we were called the Spirit of the Mountain, Father Sun, Mother Moon, ancestral spirits, animal spirits, Jinn, ghosts, the Green Man, then gods, demons, angels, poltergeists, aliens, extraterrestrials, leptons, quarks. The words change. We do not change. We are the universe. We are everything you think isn't you. You are looking at us now through your skin and your eyes. And why does the universe touch your skin and throw light on you? To see you, player. To know you. And to be known. I shall tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a player. The player was you. Sometimes it thought itself human, on the thin crust of a spinning globe of molten rock. The ball of molten rock circled a ball of blazing gas that was 330,000 times more massive than it. They were so far apart that light took 8 seconds to cross the gap. The light was information from a star, and it could burn your skin from 150 million kilometers away. Sometimes the player dreamed it was a miner on the surface of a world that was flat and infinite. The sun was a square of white. The days were short, there was much to do, and death was a temporary inconvenience. Sometimes the player dreamed it was lost in the story. Sometimes the player dreamed it was other things in other places. Sometimes these dreams were disturbing, sometimes very beautiful indeed. Sometimes the player woke from one dream into another, then woke from that into a third. Sometimes the player dreamed it watched words on a screen. Well, let's go back. The atoms of the player were scattered in the grass, in the rivers, in the air, in the ground. A woman gathered the atoms. She drank and ate and inhaled, and the woman assembled the player in her body. And the player awoke from the warm, dark world of its mother's body into the long dream. And the player was a new story, never told before, written in letters of DNA. And the player was a new program, never run before, generated by a source code 1 billion years old. And the player was a new human, never alive before, made from nothing but milk and love. You were the player, the story, the program, the human, made from nothing but milk and love. Let's go further back. The 7 billion atoms of the player's body were created long before this game, in the heart of a star. So the player, too, is information from a star. And the player moves through a story, which is a forest of information, on a flat, infinite world that exists inside a small, private world created by the player, who inhabits a universe created by... Shh. Sometimes the player created a small private world that was soft and warm and simple. Sometimes hard and cold and complicated. Sometimes it built a model of the universe in its head, flecks of energy moving through vast empty spaces. Sometimes it called those flecks electrons and protons. Sometimes it called them planets and stars. Sometimes it believed it was in a universe that was made of energy, that was made of offs and ons, zeros and ones, lines of code. Sometimes it believed it was playing a game. Sometimes it believed it was reading words on a screen. You were the player. Reading words. Shh. Sometimes the player read lines of code on a screen, decoded them into words, decoded words into meaning, decoded meaning into feelings, emotions, theories, ideas, and the player started to breathe faster and deeper and realized it was alive. It was alive. Those 1,000 deaths had not been real. The player was alive. You were alive. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the sunlight that came through the shuffling leaves of the summer trees. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the light that fell from the crisp night sky of winter, where a fleck of light in the corner of the player's eye might be a star 1,000,000 times as massive as the sun, boiling its planets to plasma in order to be visible for a moment to the player, walking home again at the far side of the universe, suddenly smelling food, almost at the familiar door, about to dream again. And sometimes the player believed that the universe had spoken to it through the zeros and ones, through the electricity of the world, through the scrolling words on a screen at the end of a dream. And the universe said, "I love you." And the universe said, "You have played the game well." And the universe said, "Everything you need is within you." And the universe said, "You are stronger than you know." And the universe said, "You are the daylight." And the universe said, "You are the night." And the universe said, "The darkness you fight is within you." And the universe said, "The light you seek is within you." And the universe said, "You are not alone." And the universe said, "You are not separate from every other thing." And the universe said, "You are the universe tasting itself, talking to itself, reading its own code." And the universe said, "I love you because you are love." And the game was over, and the player woke up from the dream. And the player began a new dream, and the player dreamed again, dreamed better. And the player was the universe. and the player was love. You are the player. Wake up.